They shred it with hand.
You tear your bags to polish you?
But that's it. And when it's done, he will be calm. And then he'll go back to smoking. You know what I keep asking myself? How did I get it? The day I went to call the reverend, I said,
Hey my beautiful people, welcome back to another episode of Justice View. Guys, thank you for always watching my videos. Thank you for always commenting. Thank you for always liking. You are one in a million. Despite the YouTube algorithm is showing me shege on this channel, please do not give up on me. Do not give up on our channel. Do not give up on this page. Always like, always comment. Tell me your thoughts and I will reply you with the immediate effect. Guys, this is the story of a woman. This is a true life story of a woman who got married to a man for just 3 months. Like, she saw shege in that marriage. She did not need a soothsayer to tell her that wrong. She ran for her dear life. Like, this is also a lesson to some of you who think that, oh, after marriage, I'll start developing love for him, we'll start going. It's a lie. If you do not have any iota of love, any form of love to somebody that you are going to spend the rest of your life with, it's going to be difficult. You are going to see shege promise. See, guys, relationship, or rather marriage, is not what you think it is. Some of you or some of us go into marriage, we don't even know what we are going to see there, only for us to start, oh, is this how it is? You must try as much as you can to love this person you are going into a relationship with. Make sure you always miss this person. Make sure you have love for this person, be it a girl, be it a boy. Make sure the love is so strong that whatsoever that happens, you will not just say, oh, because of my children. You will say, oh, because of the love I have for him. Guys, let's take a look at this video.
this October, this month makes it 15 years that this happened. I remember going to get some things on a Sunday morning, and then I bumped into a guy. I didn't like him. I didn't like him. I didn't like him. I've always been a church girl, but at least if you meet someone, you should be able, like the person, and then you guys start talking. I didn't like him. But maybe I was pulled into talking to him because when he introduced himself, he said he works with so place. And at that time, I had just written the first and second examination for that to get employed in that particular organization so that I'll move from where I was. I had done a few years. I think I've done 2 years loss. And as is usual with me, I don't spend time in organizations. If I work 2-3 years max, I'll get an opening elsewhere and I move. So when I met him, I thought, God had sent me the opening I needed to join the next organization. I didn't know it was an opening, Some open doors are not open doors. Some are open doors, some lead you to prison. And we exchanged numbers. I used to look very good.
You still look very good.
You don't understand what I'm saying. I used to look good.
Okay.
So he was looking at me like, but I exchanged numbers. I had my focus on what I want. I thought I wanted. And then I was also gullible because some things I did, I wasn't supposed to do them. Eventually, before I go home, I had seen 1,000 missed calls from him. When you meet someone, at least let the person breathe. Then you guys, once in a while you start your talk, you send message. But that didn't happen. Bombarding me with calls. And trusting people around you also matters, because that is how I got into that guy. You can imagine a man that didn't enter my house until he paid my dowry. I know that my foundation is scripture union. You're not supposed to be going to a man's house and stuff like that, but I'm supposed to be wiser now. I should be wiser than this, but I was not. Too much trust. And I think I've started mitigating against the openness of heart, because that's what got me into that man. He paid my dowry and then came back.
After how many months or years of it?
It didn't take long.
Meaning that both of you became fond of each other?
I was not fond of him. I was not fond of him. If I'm fond of him, I would have been going to his house. I'm a girl. If you're fond of a guy, you'll be calling him. You will find a way. You know this thing, there's something I heard a pastor say once that if you like a guy or a girl, even if you stand outside in the rain, you won't mind.
True.
I didn't do that. But he tried. I'll give it to him. He tried, but I think he had the wrong notion. I think he had the wrong reason for doing all he did. And then he wasn't honest. But let me not judge him. It's his business. But eventually, he got to pay my dowry. The first eye-opener I had was, my dad had passed anyway. So if my dad was alive, he won't pay my dowry. Yes. We got to my uncle's house. And he saw my uncle's house. My uncle passed last year. Nothing lasts forever. He got into my uncle's house, saw his pictures, and with all these some prominent men. The first thing he said was, "Hey, I won't mind to belong to this your clique."
Hey, what kind of clique?
My mom was there. My uncle looked at me. My mom, both of them turned and looked at me. Like, who is this?
Who were those in that picture?
IBB.
Ibrahim Babangida.
Atoeze.
Ezenugu.
That is, I think it's crude oil or something. These two I can't remember. There are others. But my uncle. And he said, I won't mind belonging to this your clique. My uncle turned and looked at me. My uncle and my mom, they zeroed in on me at the same time. Like.
That sounded desperate?
Exactly. But I just sat there. I didn't know what to say. One thing, this God said, if you do not hear God by yourself, don't do anything. Yeah. Somebody or a person you trust. A man actually said to me that this is God's choice.
Oh, a man, a pastor or
a reverend. And
a reverend said that that's your husband.
Yes.
Was that the reason why you allowed him to pay bride price?
Yes.
On the account of God said. Even when you had no connection towards him.
No connection. At all. Yeah.
It's that deep at all.
We didn't have connection because if we did have connection, there would be a flow.
Before that time, did you have connection with anyone?
Guys are always all over. They're talking their talk.
Yeah.
And,
was it your first relationship?
No.
So there was someone you were connected to?
In this town, no?
No, I mean, just to be sure that the connection issue was not an issue with you.
No. There was no one I was connected to, but I always had guys around me. I prefer guys to ladies. I'm more at peace with guys than ladies.
Yeah, I've heard some ladies say that.
Some ladies do that.
I've heard them say that.
I prefer guys to ladies because they're no drama. They are themselves.
Apologies to the ladies.
They are themselves. What they think is what they tell you. So I always had guys around me, and those ones were quite protective. They didn't know about this. They didn't know about this. I didn't make it open. So he had paid dowry. And then I remember one man, my dad's cousin, because they wanted to do everything financially, traditional. They wanted to settle everything with money. That my uncle, he passed this year. That my dad's cousin, an elderly man, he came to me. He came to me in my dad's house. That's upstairs here, bungalow. So I was in one at the back.
Yes.
So they were discussing. I wasn't supposed to be there at that point. So that man came to me. I said, I know you to be upright. He said, yes. He said, did you get to Abuja and start misbehaving?
Did you get to Abuja
and start misbehaving? I said no. He actually wanted to know if I started sleeping around, because why would a man want to pay that, do this? Because in my village, in our family, if one is pregnant by culture, we don't collect bride price. You won't pay bride price.
Why?
A pregnant person, I don't know why, but if you come to a family and you are there to marry a lady already impregnated, nobody will collect bride price from you. I don't know why. I mean, it's culture. I know it's there, but I don't know why. So he now asked me. That's why he asked me whether I stopped being upright, whether I started misbehaving when I got to Abuja. I said no. He said, are you pregnant? I said, I'm not. I said, so why is that guy in a hurry? He said, I don't know. Is he in a hurry? Because I actually brought him for them to see first. So he said, okay, with the kind of pressure that they will collect only bride price to show him that they were not dismissing him. So he paid dowry. They refused to settle every other thing with money, traditional, because that is the one your people will come. And with bride price, after that, they will now come, it's in 3 steps before traditional marriage. Then you talk of wedding, then you talk of registry. It's a whole lot. So they refused to settle.
Who drew the structure, the village?
Yes.
The structure of your place. That's the structure of where you come. The culture.
I met it, I don't know who did the structure. In fact, if my dad was alive, that first coming would have been to see my father. It wouldn't have led to going to, because I remember also, I had an uncle who lives in Maiduguri. He's the oldest currently. That my younger uncle that I took them to, he's the one that was in Enugu. He called that one said, until he comes. He said no, until he comes. Until he comes, that they should not collect anything. You understand now? That's all I know is that he put down dowry. And I know that in our place, we don't collect plenty. They can tell you, okay, 12 million or 10 million or 100 million, and you bring it. When I didn't know that I came prepared. When you bring it, they can take 100 naira and tell you that this is the dowry. You see all this money. We don't sell our child. We don't sell our children. You can go with the money. If you don't have food, don't give her. If you don't have money, don't give her. Because we are short on girls. If you can't clothe her, don't give her. If you don't clothe her, because they know that once you are short on anything, my family will ensure that you are comfortable. We are not Dangote, but we are short on girls. We have more guys than girls. So they told him, he took 100 naira. I think they gave that money, children, bought biscuits and sweet and stuff, and prayed children. And that was dowry. And then I went back to we went back to our house in the town, in Enugu, not the village now. And then everybody came back to Abuja. We had paid dowry now, so I now have the audacity to go to his house. He lives in Abuja here. Like him. He also works in the public sector. So I started once in a while I go to, but there's something, if I go to his place, he will tell me not to leave. I'll be like, why won't I leave? You just stepped in. Why won't I leave? I have to leave. So he'll be angry that I'll leave. Over time, one day, armed robbers entered my house. I traveled.
They entered his house or you?
My house. I traveled. Armed robbers entered my house. I was in the house of a friend. My friend, he owns 2 twin duplets. I rented one. And he gave me the key to the other one to hold in trust. In case anybody wants to rent. But that I saw that there were people in this Abuja that didn't have houses. Sometimes they threw them out.
They're everywhere.
So I opened the second duplex and told people to move in. So I'll have neighbor. So they were there.
For how much?
For free of charge. I had people in my own house. Some people started their fellowship from my house, from my sitting room.
Hey.
So like that, and that's why I said I used to be gullible, but not anymore. So those people were I mentioned it because those people were in that house, and armed robbers entered my house. They said they came in at 12 midnight and left at 3:30 a.m. in the morning.
The armed robbers?
Yes, and nobody called the police. Nobody called anybody. And
what were they doing in your house still?
They were stealing.
Searching it.
And I had things in that house then. I had stuff in that house. And they stole and left. So at that point, the guy said, he told me that he won't be comfortable if I continue to stay there.
That's the guy who paid your bride price?
Yes.
If I may ask, paying your bride price, where does that put him? Is it still as does that make him your husband? Or does that make him a legal fiancé?
I don't know how to put this, but with my understanding, he's not my husband. Because we had not done everything.
Every other right?
Yes. There's nobody they married in my family and paid bride price and that person became wife. You come, eventually your family will come, and then the questions will be asked.
Yeah.
and then the search will be done.
Yes.
And then you will come for the second time.
Search.
Yeah, they do search.
They'll go to the person's village.
Without the person's knowledge.
Till now.
Till tomorrow. And then traditional, that's the third one. And that is when people will gather. And then wedding. And then registry. And then after the traditional, the girl will now go with you to your place and spend 4 days.
At your own village?
Yes. Must say your village. That you have village. Even if it's zinc. It's not about wealth. It's not about anything. But you should know the person you're getting into.
Legitimacy.
Yeah. And so I had an issue with that. He really spoke well. Oh. And I said, okay. We went. And that's when I'll call it discoveries. It's not straight. He has addictions. He has alcohol addictions. Drug addictions.
Drug?
Yes.
What kind of drug? Paracetamol?
No. Paracetamol is medication, sir.
Yeah.
Drug is... what was the name of... There's this one they roll. I saw it at university. Yes. And then there's some white stuff too.
Cocaine?
And they sniff.
Yeah.
And then alcohol is in levels. You know, you could open a bottle of Jack Daniels. I know the names of what he drinks. You open a bottle of, because my uncles were not born again. Over time that they started knowing Christ. He doesn't even drink Matthew's Rose and stuff like that. What he drinks is hard alcohol. He could open a bottle of Jack Daniels in the morning. What he starts the day with, he will do half a bottle.
For appetizer?
Then he does canned drinks, Henneken. In the morning, he will do that. Then he will start with, call it goof now. That marijuana is be like English name. So he will roll it, and then he will start. You know what I kept asking myself? How did I get here?
Are you a scripture union person?
Speak, praying, I could do at that time. Till now, I kept asking, how did I get here?
He was taking those things in your presence.
I tell you.
I want to get the picture. You went as a single lady.
Yes.
Scripture union.
Yes.
Born again.
Tongue speaking. Yes.
Hair covering, tongue speaking.
Yes.
Long skirt wearing.
Hair covering, no.
Okay.
I don't like covering hair. That's in the tie head, I know.
But long skirt wearing lady.
It was in Abuja I started long skirt. I came from Lagos. I do knee length. It was in Abuja that somebody counseled me that here is man's they wear. So I went and bought long skirts. And I wore pants, that is trousers, skirts, gowns.
So you went to see this bro in his house.
Yes.
There he was.
Yes.
With a wrap, snuffing.
Yes.
Drinking Jack Daniels.
You know how he looked at me?
Yeah.
It was as if, welcome.
To the empire.
Yeah. And then I saw 2 of his friends, they were there. You know what I said to myself? How did I get here? How did I get here?
And your bride price was already paid?
Yes.
That was the man?
That was the man. It has something, emotional intelligence. I have it all. I did not scream. It did not show. But he was focused on moving my stuff. Since armed robbers had entered there, let's move my stuff into his place. So I said, fine. I moved my stuff. Then one day in the morning he woke up and he asked me, I should declare my assets and liabilities.
Are you running for the presidential office?
I said, and there's something my father did to us. In our house, I had a very loving father. We miss him till tomorrow. That's one day my mom was talking. You know what we said to my mom? If it's possible for my father to come back, we'll have him back. So I had very good idea of what marriage should be. In our house, men pay bills. It is men that pay bills. So when he said I should declare my assets and liabilities, I looked at him. Because being there had started giving me understanding why that guy married me. So I said, I have a lot of liabilities.
Why did you think he married you?
For what he can get. For what he can get. Between October, I paid dowry, to December, he had gone through my documents. In our house, we don't hide anything. If my dad, if he owns property, you walk in like this and see the documents in his room. We were not hiding anything from ourselves. We didn't do that. So my documents were there. They saw them. House, lots, this airport road, Piakasa. I had about 3 hectares at that time. And then individual plots scattered. And in trade more.
He saw all that.
He saw them. My share certificates, First Bank, I had plenty First Bank shares. He saw all that. So he said I should declare my assets and liabilities. And I was like, and then I had gold. They stole gold from that house when they, those armed robbers. I had gold because every December I invest in gold because I know that's one thing that appreciates. And if you live anywhere in the world, if you're living Nigeria with a handbag full of gold, anywhere you go to, it turns to cash. I had that. Anyway. I always knew that. So I used to buy a lot of gold. And then at the point I sold gold. So so he said assets and liabilities. I said, I have a lot of liabilities. I don't know about assets. And that's how I responded to him. And then the first thing he started doing was that he said, I pray too much. Oh. Meanwhile, I don't shout when I pray. He said, I pray too much. And then he gave me the task of cooking his food fresh every morning. Initially, he thought I don't know how to cook because I used to fix nails. And I looked like Botti, you know. I started cooking from primary 5. So I cook well. So he wanted to know, you know, we didn't date. If we had dated, he would have known that I cook. Yes. If he had been entering my place, he would have known that I cook. So he said I should cook. He doesn't even know. Oh God. Emotional, verbal, physical abuse. Said he doesn't even know if I can cook. I asked him.
You said emotional?
Yes.
Verbal?
Verbal and physical.
By physical abuse, you mean it
hits me, eh? I love it. I love handbags. You see this leather? This thing? Yeah. It will be difficult. This is LV. Yeah. It will be difficult to tear this leather. Yeah. But if he starts, he will use his hand and shred this leather. Yes.
The same bro?
Yes. He will shred it. I watch him like this, shred it with hand.
You tear your bags to polish you?
But that's it. And when he's done, he will be calm. And then he'll go back to smoking. You know what I keep asking myself? How did I get it? The day I went to call the reverend, I said it's God's choice. The man stepped into the house and came outside. I said, I don't know how to manage this. Said, I don't know how to manage this one. So I was left in it. First, I wasn't supposed to pray. And then what I started doing, because I had to make his food, when he found out that I know how to cook, all his friends started coming to the house to eat. It was like a restaurant. So I became the chef. And then early morning, I have to wake up to wash his car. He said he's been suffering. I wake up to wash his car. I didn't used to do laundry. My clothes, I sent them to laundry. And then, but in his house, he said that I waste money. Number one, when they pay me salary, I should bring it. I laughed. If they pay me salary, I will withdraw it and give to him because I discovered something. You can actually buy safety with money. Yeah, you buy safety with money. So if he said, I'll withdraw my salary and come and give him. Usually making hair 3 weeks, 1 month, I'll go and make another hair. I'll carry one hair for 3 months. You won't give me money.
Your own money?
For yes, my own money, because I'll give it to him. I also didn't want him to know I have another money anywhere. So I was on, like, it was like a time bomb. I was managing this, but there's something God did for me. God raised intercessors for me and they were praying. I didn't know. People I didn't know.
From the fellowship?
No. I can mention names. There's one, she's a director with Ministry of Health today.
Oh, awesome.
Then one man and the wife. There are 3. The wife passed a couple of years ago. The guy is a lawyer. He's in Australia now. But that lady is still in Abuja with her husband. Her husband who owns a hospital in Abuja. So 3 of them, they were praying. And then the woman that taught me Jesus in Enugu, the woman that took me to SU, God spoke to her as well, so she was praying. I didn't even know what I was inside. But I remember that I had one dream 3 times consecutively. In the first dream, I saw a lizard, what looked like a lizard, a long one, green lizard, in the laundry basket where my clothes are. I will look at the lizard. It will just be going. But if the lizard will be watching me, I'll be watching the lizard. But immediately it thinks my eyes have gone off it. It will turn to a black snake and start moving. I had that dream for the first time. Had it the second time. Had it the third time. You know the funny thing? I knew it's revealing. But it did not occur to me that God was trying to make me understand what I was into.
What you've gotten into.
Yeah. The first day that guy slapped me, I saw stars. What happened? He drank about 8 cans of Heineken in the morning before work. And then when we came back from work, he said I didn't sweep it before we went to work. For no good reason. His reason was I didn't declare assets. Are you getting it now?
Yeah, you only declare liability.
I don't even get liability. I wasn't paying anybody. So that first day, I sat on the floor and cried. Even when my father died. When my father died, God comforted me. Because he kept telling me my father was going to pass. But I was in denial. And when my dad passed, I said, you didn't tell me this. He sent that same woman that taught me Christ to come and tell me the number of times he told me. But I refused to acknowledge it. And God confirmed. But that day, that first day that guy hit me, I sat on the floor. I kept calling my father. Because I knew if my father was alive, they don't want the person. I wept. And he turned and looked at me and said, unfortunately for you, your father is no more. Yes.
He said that?
Yes. And then my uncle came to Abuja to do something, its first headquarters, and called him that he was in Abuja. Meanwhile, I wasn't telling anybody about him. This was in November. So he told me, your uncle is in town. And he went to see my uncle in his hotel. He came back really late. The following day, my uncle called me and said, this guy drinks so. Yes.
You knew then?
Then I wasn't. I already knew. But none of my family knew. So when we visited my uncle, he had a field day. So the following morning, I was at work and my uncle called me and said, this guy drinks. I couldn't give a response. There was nothing I knew to say. And then I wake up by 3 a.m. because I must pray. And then I start about 5:30. I'll go and cook his food fresh. They don't want to know the content, meats, the things it takes to work. Of course, they eat as a group, which is understandable. Every day I have to do this, and then I'll go and wash his car. And then I started washing his clothes. And mine. And you know the funny thing, he won't let me go outside and wash it. He will tell me to stay inside and be washing it. Maybe so neighbors
will not see.
And we won't hang it outside. Hanging clothes in the bedroom, it smells.
Yeah.
So I'll be like, let's hang it up. He said, I'll wash it, and then I'll iron his clothes. And then, in fact, I was practically a house help. And then he said, I waste money on gas. I should use kerosene. Do you know? 25 liters, 20 liters. I'll carry it under the sun and trek to go and buy kerosene. I'll trek and come out. There's no fuel station in Lifecamp, inside Lifecamp. I'll trek and go and buy kerosene and come back. You see me that time. In fact, my colleagues at work, they will look at me. They were saying, when you get married, supposedly, you're supposed to be better. But I was declining. Exactly. And I kept thinking, this happened within 4 months.
Within 4 months of being together?
Yes.
Was all it take to go through all this?
And he hits me at will. And then one day, I decided to fight him. Yeah. He didn't see me coming. He would even pull belts. Yeah. That day. Because what actually kept me was the fact that I didn't know that there were people like him. It was a surprise. It was like a movie. I'll be looking at him. Now, wow.
You're trying to face the realization.
Process it. I tried to process it. And then there's something he does. When we go out in the morning, we lock the door, we lock up everywhere. But at night, we don't lock the door. We don't lock the gates. We leave everywhere. We open the door and leave it open. the gates will be open. And then, UEFA Championship, you know how loud it can be. We'll take the volume to 100%. At night, the first night, I did not understand. The second night, he had gone to sleep, so I put off the telly and locked the door. When he woke up in between, I didn't like what happened to me that night.
What happened to you?
He started to say, who told you to lock the door?
Wow.
But what was strange is that we go out in the morning, we lock the door. Is it not in the morning people leave their doors open? And then at night they lock it. But at night we leave the door open, we leave the entrance open, and we increase the volume of UEFA Championship, not normal programs, the UEFA, to 100%. If you hear the noise, I didn't know he had plans. God is a revealer of secrets. You see Holy Spirit there? The Spirit of God is amazing. People do not understand why I chose Christ the way I chose him. Whatever God cannot do for me should remain undone. That's where I am. That's my position. And funny enough, I don't cut off. You see, anything Jesus does not like, I do not like. The way I live outside is the way I live inside. I don't have where I'm covered. I don't live double standard. Because God saw me through that place. That guy actually wanted to use me for ritual. I didn't know. But one of the nights I had a dream. I was lying down. Jesus was written on my head with gold. He was lying down. He did not have Jesus on his head. And then some men came into the house. And they looked around and said, is it because of this man they wrote on her forehead that we won't do what we have come here to do? When I woke up from that dream, what's the reason why we used to leave the door open at night began to make sense. They were all on white with this Malaam cap, those flat caps. In the dream. But I had Jesus written on my forehead in gold. I can't forget. And he was sleeping. And you know how the spirits things are? I was lying down, but at the same time standing beside those men. But they were not seeing me. So they said, is it because of this man? They didn't call him Jesus. They said, is it because of this man they wrote on her forehead that we won't do what we have come here to do?
My house, the house where I left from.
When I woke up, it began to make sense. It began to make sense. So I knew I was in trouble. But then, how do I leave that place? My mom left. She was in Nigeria at that time. She went to see Mrs. Name withheld. That woman that taught me Christ. She's of blessed memory now. She died 2 years ago. And they began to pray. They began to pray. That woman called me. I was at work. That woman called me and said, I want you to begin to pack your things. I want you to start packing your things. Do not leave your pin in the house. But do not take anything that belongs to that man. I said, okay.
Don't leave your pin there.
But don't take anything that belongs to him. I said, okay. Wow. And then the people that God raised to be praying for me in this Abuja, the man came to meet me in the office. God is detailed though. God is detailed. The man came to see me in the office and said, whatever you need to do, do it now. I cannot forget. What annoyed me about him was that when his wife passed, he said he wanted to marry me. I became angry. When I don't understand him. Otherwise, he was the brother I did not have. Yes, he was my brother. He was a friend. He was there for me. So I began to pack my things under that man's nose. I was packing my things. He didn't know. I began to pack my things. Locked my boxes with everything together. I kept packing. And then one day I got to work and went to see my boss at that time. She retired this year, a Yoruba woman from Kwara. I went to her and said, Madam, because the group where I was at that time, you don't go and leave. Work was too much. So I saw that my madam and said, I want to go and leave my previous year leave. I said I needed to take it. She looked at me and she said, you need this leave.
Things are really happening in this world. Like, if you are a Christian, does not mean you should not be smart. That is one thing I have learned from this story. If you are a Christian, you should be smart. Despite it is written that you should not go to a man's house, fornication is a sin. You open your eyes. Your eyes need to be wide open, even if you are a Christian. There are some pagans in the church. There are some devil ritualists in the church. They pretend to be a Christian, but they are ritualists. They are kidnappers. They are armed robbers. They are womanizers in the church. You meeting a brother or a sister inside the church does not mean that person is a born again. You hear what she just said? She said she is a Christian, a born again, speaking in the Holy Ghost every now and then. But she did not know how she find herself in that position. Like, watching this story goes pimples all over my body. Because most people, you think you are a Christian, a gullible Christian, but you cease to find out when your mind is telling you something, when your body is reacting. You do not want to listen to your body, but you want to get married. That is what she just said. She said she does not have any love for this man, no single love for him, but she went ahead to marry him. Now see, even when God keep on revealing to her, if not for the fact that God sent somebody to come and tell her to leave, she would have still been there. She would have still been cooking for this man, spending her money on the man, giving the man all her salary. This is really going on in this world. Guys, a lot of things is going on. People are passing through a lot. This is just 15 years ago. She cannot stop thinking. She's traumatized. Even the way she reacts to the story, you can see she has passed through a lot. And we still have a lot of people in this kind of category. That is why you see some person got married, not up to 5 months, not up to 6 months, the person is dead. You'll be like, what killed this woman? What happened to this woman? She was pregnant. You don't know. Let's continue.
Oh, she saw me. I took it, I didn't tell the man. I'd finished packing my stuff under his nose. So the following morning, I woke up at 3 a.m., prayed. I remember I made jollof rice, chicken, turkey, everything. Packed it. If he gets to the office, that is if I pack his food, let's say that we ran short on protein, and he gets to the office, maybe he sees 4 pieces of meat in his food, he will call me from the office.
From your own office?
From his own office.
From his own office. And
wash me down. Oh, you don't want to know. So that morning when he was ready to go to work, and I carried his food, put in the car, carried his briefcase, put in the car. So when he saw that I wasn't ready for work, he looked at me. You're not going to work? I said, no. I said, why? I said, I started my leave today, I need to rest. I needed to rest. So he said, who did I tell? Yeah, who did I tell? This was in January. Why didn't I tell him? At that my leave, he was looking at us taking it, December. We'll go to the village. I was looking at him. I said, okay. That I told him it was a previous year's own, that I just needed to rest. That I still have a year plus the current year at that time. So he said, okay, and he left for work. I got up and went to a park and got a truck.
To move your things.
Yeah, and picked 6 boys. And they followed me. They packed all my stuff into that truck. My house, the house where I left from, was still there. I had put somebody there. So what I did, I opened the garage. Wherever houses, their garage, they are massive. So I opened the garage and they deposited everything. I locked the entrance, came out through the sitting room, locked the door. The way I was, leggings with top, plain slippers and my handbag. I headed to the airport and went home.
To
Lagos. No, to Lagos. So when he came back from work, I did not mention that he took me for the ritual.
In your dream or now?
In the physical. He took me. That's the first time I saw Day. Since that day, I've not crossed Day. I've not gone to Day. It was on a Sunday morning. He also said I should stop going to church. That was the first day I laughed in the house. He said, in fact, I should stop going to church. I looked at him and began to laugh. That day I laughed and fell on the floor. I kept laughing. He was so surprised. Me.
A man that was a gentleman when you saw him. I need to recount this. You met a man who portrayed himself like a perfect gentleman.
Christian too.
And a Christian.
Serving in church.
4 months of being married to him.
Yeah.
You described that he was smoking.
Paying dowry.
Oh, sorry, of paying dowry. Your dowry. All right. You described that he was smoking weed.
And
he was sniffing white substance, which you didn't know the name till now. He was taking Jack's, Daniel, and then top of it all, he beat you.
Yeah. And then he pours libation. Libation is when you break cola nuts like this.
Give to the
In the sitting room. You pour the kai, like it's kai, whether it's Jack Daniels or whatever, it's kai. You will pour it, you sit on the floor in the sitting room and break the cola nut and be pouring it at what he said. And then he'll give me cola nut. I should go eat. I will go to the window and throw it. Which one is cola nut?
And now he asked you to stop going to church.
I said I should stop going to church. That day I started laughing. You should know what not to ask me. You can be doing every other thing, but you should know where to draw the line. By not going to church, by not praying, by not serving God, that is where you draw the line.
The culture in Africa, there's an unwritten culture around the girl child in Africa that is in such a way that it is almost believed that a woman is a nobody until she's married.
That is the thing.
Such that amazing ladies who have invested so much into their lives hang around fools who now make them a shadow of themselves.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, this is very serious.
And then the day he said I won't go to church again. Honestly, I started laughing.
And you still went to church?
Of course. He don't go to church.
And what did he do?
He didn't do jack.
Yeah.
Maybe he was still planning after he used me for ritual and I was useless in his eyes.
So he took you to where they wanted to use you for
When
ritual.
we got to a place, I said, where is this place? On Sunday morning. He said, this is Day. I was like, wow, the notorious Day.
Yeah.
Then we didn't stop at Day, we kept going.
Yeah.
Then we got to another place where he stopped. He said it's Shagari village. They are batch Fulani people. Fulani people. He took me into, it's a shack. They made it with zinc. Took me into the place. They had setting, one long setting there. If you see that seat there, it's sunken, you know.
Like a football field for bedbugs.
You know, like people are always sitting on it. They put me, I sat down. Trusting. And then he said he was coming. He went out and came. His older brother lives in this town. His older brother was part of the plan. Because we picked the brother.
On your way there?
Yes. And you know, December then, a lot of people gave me stuff. Because there were so many people I had access to be able to get jobs, employment for people, stuff like that. So I had a lot of goodwill. Wow. Even the people that bring rice hampers, a whole lot. So they would bring it. So we took some to on the way because we were going to stop over at the brother's place. Then when we dumped those stuff at the brother's place, the brother joined us. Then we got to the place, they call it Shagari village. They put me in the shack. I sat there, maybe touch, at the time of Blackberry. Touch. I was busy pinging. That's what we used to call it, them.
Yes, pinging, yeah.
I was pinging. So he said he was coming. Two of them left. He went out and called and came back with Fulani men. I don't understand Hausa. Meanwhile, in our house, even my late dad, everybody speaks Hausa. So they came, I don't know what, I just sat there, I greeted them and faced my pinging. I don't know what they came to do. When they finished, they left. Then the woman entered that shack. The wife of that his older brother. She see dust. She trekked or whether she used bike. Today that she came there, you know what she said to me? Do you realize that when they paid your dowry, they did not snap picture? I said yes. She said, she asked me 3 questions. She made 3 statements. She said, do you realize that when they paid your dowry, they did not snap picture? I said yes. She said, well, the first time I will see you, when you came to live in his house, you did not know that I was naked. You gave me wrappers. I said yes. You know the wrappers I gave her? This thing they do Ashemi. Somebody has burial, somebody has this. So you gather Ashemi. I didn't know what to do with it. So when they came, I gave them to her as gift.
Wow.
I didn't know she had need at that time. And then the third thing she said was that she has 3 girls. And 2 boys, or 3 boys as well. That she doesn't know where they will be in the future. That she cannot watch anything happen to me. God only used that woman. That it's better they show somebody, they say this is where you lived and this is where they buried you. I cannot forget. And that please, when they come back, they will ask me who came here. And she will say that nobody came here. She turned and left. I cannot forget. And funny enough, if I see that woman now, I won't recognize her. Yeah. Because I didn't stay long enough. That was when it dawned on me. Wow. Now this is what I was brought for. So when they came back, and truly,
Yeah.
The first question was, who came here? I said, nobody. I don't know anybody here. How can somebody, How can somebody come? I don't know anybody here. And they believed me. And that's how we went back.
How did you leave?
We drove to the place now. He drove.
He drove you back?
Yes, drove back to life.
So what did he say he brought you for?
He didn't tell me anything. I didn't ask him.
But the woman knew?
The woman knew because it was a family plan.
It
was a family plan. They said they were trying to buy back the glory of their family that their father mortgaged. And they needed a righteous seed. See the attraction? That their father's name is written on the wall beside Ojuku's name and Ojuku's father's name and what. But their own is not speaking.
There are issues in this life.
That is how I became their lamb of sacrifice. I did not know. It was later I got to know.
So later they couldn't do anything to you?
Exactly.
Why didn't you run?
Me run. I had to pack my things now. I went there with stuff. My freezer, cookers, everything.
No, I mean from the shank you were taken to.
Where will I run to? I don't know the place. Oh. It's remote. Have you gone to Day?
I have not.
Yeah. Then the Shagari village is after Day. Because it showed me this is Day. Then after that place, we now started going. Then they said the Shagari village. It was recently, I mentioned Shagari village to somebody. They said every single kidnapping, that is where they kill people, that's where they cut. And if you're walking on the street there, you will see, human parts. Yeah. The guy that makes my hair, she's the one that told me this. Wow. I was shocked. Wow. See how good God is. Wow. How faithful God is.
All this within how many months?
Within 4 months. I left his house on the 19th of February. I cannot forget. So he went to work that February morning, 19th of February. I brought the people, packed my things. He had a neighbor, a Fulani woman, that came out and looked at me while they were packing my things into the truck. She said to me that from the first day she saw me here, she wondered what Ajebota came to do in this place. But she saw me there, she didn't say anything to me.
Sometimes people get scared.
Maybe. And that's how I left and went to our house in Lagos. And then in the evening when he closed from work, came back home and called me. He saw his house open. A shock. He will go to the grave with a shock. When people think they are smart. When people think they are smart, you know this one, you don't know the other one. Yeah. So he called me, I picked. My siblings said I should pick. I picked. He said, how did you escape me? That was his question.
How did you escape me?
The shock was in his voice.
He asked you how you escaped him?
Yes. He said, how did you escape me? Under my nose, you were. He spoke in Igbo. I did not know. From this place. I told him it's God, it's Jesus. And cut the phone. My younger sister brought her laptop and told me to log on to my email immediately. I shared that guy had access to my email. I don't even, you see this Jesus thing, it makes you turn to an idiot without knowing. Because there were things I didn't know. My youngest sibling brought her laptop and said I should log on to my email. Then she was not born again.
Yes.
I put my password, she opened my email. And said, that's it. He has access to your mail. So she logged. In fact, I will forever be grateful for siblinghood.
There are people in this life.
My siblings prayed though. That was when the trouble started.
Trouble?
Yeah. When you do physical, then you do spiritual. I began to fight. Things started happening to me. First of all, I started selling my property. I sold Juto. I sold empty plots. I was selling. When I finished selling, until today, I can't account for the money. Hectares of land at Piakasa. I sold it. I had properties. I sold everything. When I finished with that one, I started selling gold. Only me like this. I began to sell gold. When I finished selling gold, there was nothing to sell again. I started running transactions like normal. And then transactions were as if they would pull me into trouble. And then I started getting into attacks. So I can show you attacks. One day I went to sleep. I was normal and went to sleep. If you look at my wrists, You see this marks, same point. I
Same
went to sleep normal. And when I woke up in the morning, it was as if they shoot me with knife here. You can see the scar.
Same point.
It was bleeding.
You slept. You had a dream.
I didn't have dream.
It was like somebody was shooting with a knife.
It didn't pain me.
You woke up and it was bleeding.
And saw blood coming out. There were wounds. See the scar of the wound.
Yes.
2 same points. Hey.
Did he threaten you for leaving him?
Yes.
What did he say?
Said that he will show me, number one, that I will mutilate